This is Jarrod Horak, and in this video, I'm going to analyze the Grade 2 Jim Dandy Stakes at Saratoga. I'm going to go through the field. I'm going to look at their Today's Racing Digest past performances, and I'm going to give out my contenders from last to first. And the Jim Dandy goes as the 10th race at Saratoga on Saturday, July 26th. Grade 2, $500,000 Jim Dandy for 3-year-olds, a mile and an eighth on the main track. Scheduled post time is 5:41 p.m. Eastern Time. Let's meet the 5-horse field. Number 1 is Baeza for trainer John Sheriffs. Hector Berrios is in the irons. He's 3-1 morning line. He exits a non-threatening third-place finish in the Belmont Stakes. Number 2 is Sandman, and Sandman is adding blinkers. He's a late runner. He's the Grade 1 Arkansas Derby winner. He was third in the Preakness last time. He's 6-1 morning line under Jose Ortiz, his winning rider. Number 3, Plex could be the one to catch under Manny Franco. He was a nice, prominent throughout winner in the Grade 3 Ohio Derby last time. He's 10-1. Number 4 is Hill Road for trainer Chad Brown. He won the Grade 3 Peter Pan a couple starts back. Then he was no threat in the Belmont Stakes. Irad Ortiz Jr. is going to ride. He's 12-1. He's a late runner. Finally, number 5, Sovereignty, your 2-5 morning line favorite. He won the Kentucky Derby and the Belmont Stakes impressively over Journalism and Baeza. And Bill Mott's his trainer. Junior Alvarado is his rider. He likes to rally from off the pace, but he showed improved positional speed last time out in that Belmont Stakes. Now we'll go last to first using the Today's Racing Digest past performances. And the past performances are provided by todaysracingdigest.com. The horse that I picked to finish 5th and last is going to be the 4 Hill Road. Now Hill Road, he lacks speed, and I think he's probably going to be better at maybe a distance at 1.25 miles, where he'll get more pace help and possibly not a horse like Sovereignty in there. But if they do go for the Travers, he could certainly run into Sovereignty in that race. Now for Hill Road, he did look good. Winning the Peter Pan, getting a 1:44 final time rating. That matches up with this group, but he's really looking like a Grade 3 horse at this time because in the Grade 1 Belmont Stakes against Sovereignty and Baeza, he ended up finishing 5th, beating 9 lengths, only getting a 1:14 final time rating. So I don't think this race sets up for him. Chad Brown is on record even as saying if he got a minor award in here, he would be happy with that. He would like to move on to the Travers. He would like to see horses like Sovereignty, Journalism, and maybe some others not in the Travers. But for Hill Road, he does have some ability. I just don't think this race really sets up for him. The horse that I picked to finish 4th in here, that's going to be number 5, Plex. And Plex could be the one to catch, but he's still going to have to prove his class. He's a New York bred. He always finishes in the top 3, and he proved that 1 1/8 distance was within his reach last time out when he was right up on the pace after a less than ideal start. And he won that race by 2 lengths, but this field is much better. He's facing some horses, obviously, like Sovereignty in here, Baeza as well, even a Grade 1 winner, Sandman. So he's facing a deep cast in here. Maybe he'll have a tactical advantage, and we'll see how long he can hang in there. Now, for him, he got a 1:34 final time rating. That was on April 19th at 7 furlongs at Aqueduct. He won that race, and it was a little stakes race. And then he came back and he won that Ohio Derby, getting a 1:32. He's going to have to run faster against better horses. He's going to have to hope for a speed bias track and getting a clear early lead, and horses like Sovereignty not firing their best shots. If all of those things happen, he could hang in there. The horse that I picked to finish 3rd, that's going to be the 2 Sandman in here. And for Sandman, everything came into place for him with his best career final time rating of a 1:46. He got a 1:46 final time rating in the Grade 1 Arkansas Derby when there was a pace meltdown, and he took full advantage and won that race. Then in the Kentucky Derby in the slop, he was 7th, beaten 12 lengths. He only got a 1:01. And then the last time out in the Preakness Stakes, a 1:31 final time rating. That's more like what I expect him to earn in here, somewhere around a 1:31. That's not going to cut it against horses like Sovereignty. And Sovereignty will be my second choice, even though I am fully aware that he's the horse to beat. I'm not really interested in betting a lot of money against him. I've always liked Sovereignty. He's shown a lot of quality, and look at his final time ratings. They're continuing to improve. But it should be noted that he is targeting the Travers. That's his main summer goal at 1.25 miles. And his 2 big Grade 1 wins, the Kentucky Derby and the Belmont, were both at 1.25 miles. And one of the ways to look at him, too, is look at his Florida Derby. After he already qualified for the Kentucky Derby by winning the Fountain of Youth, in the Florida Derby, He just wasn't able to duplicate his Fountain of Youth. He got a 135 in the Fountain of Youth, winning that one. He got a 132. He regressed a little bit in the Florida Derby. Even though that was a grade 1, his main goal was the mile and a quarter Kentucky Derby, and he jumped up to a 138 final time rating. At that time, that was his best number, winning that race nicely. He was primed. If you were just watching his workouts, you could tell he was primed to run the race of his life in the Kentucky Derby, and he was able to defeat Journalism, a very good horse in his own right. And then in the Belmont Stakes, they skipped the Preakness, targeted the Belmont. That was his main goal, and he uncorked a new final time rating top of a 143, defeating that field, including Baeza and Journalism there. So Sovereignty showed much better positional speed. He was very impressive in that Belmont Stakes. There's no doubt about it that he is the horse to beat in here. If he runs a 143, that's probably enough. Maybe he'll run faster, but don't expect them to empty the tank in here. The Travers is the goal. He's got 2 grade 1 wins to Journalism's 3, but head to head, he's defeated Journalism twice. So he's battling for the 3-year-old title and some other big races down the road. Like I said, the Travers is a goal. The Breeders' Cup Classic at the end of the year at a mile and a quarter. So those mile and a quarter races are his cup of tea. He could certainly win a race like this, but this isn't the end goal, and this doesn't really affect his 3-year-old title chances. The Travers is the race they want to win, but he could just win this prep because he's good enough anyway. I'm going to go with a small chance against him with the 1 Baeza as my top choice. And he's reuniting with his winning rider, Hector Berrios. And Berrios is 7 for 22 with John Sheriffs. And Berrios rides Baeza well, and he's been riding him in his recent workouts. And as I said about Sovereignty, after he had his prep races and getting ready for the Triple Crown Series, you could see the professionalism and how he was working so much better, and he really had his mind on business. Now, Sovereignty's recent works have been decent enough to get him ready to run a decent race here, but he's not working as well as he was heading into the Derby in Belmont, whereas Baeza is working better than he ever has. He's been a horse that hasn't been able to focus in the past and not put it all together, but we'll see if he can do that this time. His first big number was in the Grade 1 Santa Anita Derby after he got a 131 final time rating, breaking his maiden at Santa Anita at 1 mile. He jumped right into the Santa Anita Derby, and he jumped up to a 143 final time rating. Then in the Kentucky Derby, he got a 132, but that was a slop. He had post 19, not a bad effort there at all. And then last time, a good track. He ended up finishing a flat 3rd in the Belmont. I thought he would show more positional speed. He didn't. But since that race, he's had 5 workouts Sovereignty's only had 4, so he's had 1 more workout, and he's really had his mind on business. Sheriffs has him ready to run his career best, but will that be enough? One of the reasons I picked him was the same reason that I picked Goal Oriented against Journalism in the Haskell last week. Now, for Goal Oriented, he was training well. I knew he was going to run an improved race, but whether it would be good enough to defeat Journalism, who was at one of the top horses in his class, was another story. And he did run much better, but Journalism was just a little bit better than him. And he was able to win that race, and Goal Oriented was a close 3rd. Same thing here. Baeza's ready to run the race of his life, and Sovereignty is pointing for the Travers as his main goal. They really want Baeza to win this race. We'll see if he can, and we'll see what kind of running style he uses. He's been able to be forwardly placed, more forwardly placed in California than he has been in the Triple Crown Series races, and now his recent workouts suggest he will be closer to the pace. We're going to find out if he is. So I'll take a small shot with Baeza as my top choice in here, but knowing full well that Sovereignty could win this race. And I know there's a lot of Sovereignty fans out there. I'm not trying to diss him at all. He's very talented. He could easily win this race and the Travers. He could win the rest of his races this year. Sovereignty is that good, but maybe Baeza's catching him at the right time where he's on the improve and Sovereignty has another big race down the road. The Travers is his main goal, and Baeza could win this race, and then they could meet again, and then Sovereignty gets the screws tightened, and he's able to turn the tables on Baeza again. But so far, Sovereignty's been better than Baeza in the Derby and the Belmont. Baeza will obviously have to run better, and I think he will run better, but will that be enough? We're going to find out in this race. Now, if you need past performances for Saratoga, today's Racing Digest has a special going on. You can get Saratoga past performances every day this summer for a total of $149. You'll get full access to the entire meet, and I will include a link to this offer in the video description below. And if you're interested in my full card analysis, I'm covering the entire Del Mar Summer Meet from July 24th through September 7th. I also will be offering select Saturdays at Saratoga this summer, July 26th, Jim Dandy Day, August 2nd, Whitney Day, and August 23rd, Travers Day. Go to therunawayhorse.com on my shop page for my upcoming full card schedule and to purchase my full card products. And I will include a link to my shop page in the video description below. And if you do pre-purchase my analysis, I will email analysis 1 to 2 days before race day. And I always update tickets after scratches the morning of each race day. And check out my Better Bets free picks page at the top of my homepage at therunawayhorse.com if you want a free pick from around the country each day. Like, comment, and share these videos if you like them. Subscribe to my channel as well. It's free to subscribe. And until I see you next time, good luck at the races.